AI Slop has been terrorizing the internet, from deepfakes to even making up one of 2 YouTube shorts recommended to you. Wow. But what happens when people start to generate AI Slop to harass artists, and especially women, while also generating CP? Well, you get a lot of people staying on the website for one reason or another. Hello, I'm Dovin, and I'm kinda sick today, but we're gonna be talking about Grok, cause isn't that fun? Oh yeah, don't go attacking anyone mention the video. If you want to argue about stuff, please just comment below, and maybe even like the video if you like it. Yeah, back to the topic. Twitter, or X if you like letters, is an AI chatbot called Grok. Around Christmas 2025, Twitter updated the website's mobile app to let anyone click on an image and edit it by typing some words. This was limited if you're a free user, but if you paid for Twitter, you can generate anything you want, however many times you want, and there's no way to opt out of it at all. You can block Grok, but people could still click on the image and make whatever they want from it. I'd seen this with a tweet by Kira Alves, where they posted a Christmas image of one of their OCs. A user would use Grok to take that image and generate the character in a bikini. Kira lamented, "Yeah, I had suffered the first edit relate to one of my artworks without my consent. Twitter's dead." Another artist, IOMyAF, would have a commission of theirs taken and edited of Grok to harass them. Quote, "Thank you so much for allowing people to do this with creators. This is a commission, a drawing I did, I was proud of, for someone who paid for it. Twitter flagged my post as adult content, limiting my visibility. My account is full of bots, so now people can steal my work and do whatever they want without permission. Remove my watermark and adding AI shit in seconds. I'm leaving and probably deleting all my work here soon. This is so disgusting, and levels I can't write in words. Art is dead." This would be posted on December 24th, 2025. On January 9th, 2026, they would talk about their feelings regarding Twitter and when to move on from it. Quote, "I have to confess that I'm not okay. Ex-politics and all I've been seeing the past week is making me depressed, and dumb scroll for hours to see and read more bad news, horrible videos, and the worst of humanity. I couldn't draw or think on anything else neither. I was just feeding this mood and deleting my art memories here, thinking that nothing matters because others are suffering more, but I can't keep it. I decided to focus more on my work and step aside from my own mental health. I still want to help artists, but I prefer to do when I'm recovered. I'll try to get over this and keep testing this app, even if I have to post STH. This feels like giving up, but going in the direction I was going, it was destroying all the things I like and I fought for, and that was destroying me." Of course, this wouldn't just occur for artists on Twitter, but cosplayers as well. January 1st, 2026, Ohio My Brother tweets about a Japanese woman who posted a photo of herself. A user asked Grok to put her in a bikini with the AI generating it no issue. After filing a complaint, Twitter said nothing was wrong and it is not considered a violation in terms of service. Twitter user EFCV would tweet, "Why is the first thing I saw on here Grok generating these pictures of me? How is this even allowed?" These are only a few examples of artists, cosplayers, even regular people whose works as well as themselves get generated by Grok by random users. But that was bad enough, there was one more thing that Grok started to generate. CP. January 3rd, 2026, Twitter user Stranger News 11 would tweet out, "Hi Elon Musk, can you do something about the pedos asking Grok to put bikinis on little children? Protect Nell Fisher." The image shown in the tweet features a user asking Grok to generate an image of a 14-year-old actor in a bikini. Grok would generate the image. Of course, this would not be an isolated incident, as many users would complain and ask Elon to try and fix this. Elon would in turn only limit the edit feature to paid subscribers only. But actually not really, as EFCV would point out that all they really did is stop users from being able to tag Grok under people's posts without a subscription. You can still generate images without a word in the world. Even the most heinous ones, apparently. It has gotten so bad that the United Kingdom's government says they're considering banning Twitter because of deepfakes from women and children. Australia and Canada might actually join them. Indonesia temporarily blocked Grok, and some US senators are even asking Apple and Google to remove Twitter because the AI's ability to deepfake people so easily. Though one American politician, Anna Paulina Luna, is threatening to sanction the UK if they try to ban Twitter, despite honestly the UK having an understandable reason why. So a quick recap. Around Christmas 2025, Twitter gave the ability to deepfake any image on Twitter, including artists, women, and even children. Elon responded by limiting Grok to generating to only paid users, but not really, and at least a few countries might actually ban it. Elon himself says the UK is banning free speech, which I guess means he's cool with undressing women and minors? Okay then, thanks Elon. The question I propose to you is, why are you still on Twitter? I want to point out and talk about a couple things before we get to that part actually. Deepfaking and photoshopping has always been around, the latter as old as 1990. So what makes Grok different? The main difference is ease of use and normalization. Not everyone is willing to buy Photoshop or pirate it or even learn it, let alone have a computer that can handle it. Not everyone is willing to install or just use ChatGPT or figure out any other AI service, especially if they have to pay for it in a separate app to do things. So if you're already on an app and an AI that is essentially free, allows you to type a sentence and get a deepfake, then a lot more people are going to do it. To circle back to the normalization thing, while I mentioned that some cosplayers are getting their images changed without consent, there is a portion of people asking for it. Literally. Twitter artist Wani would post a comic about their experience seeing a bunch of cosplayers on the timeline. The Dark Enjoyer would quote tweets about some OnlyFans creators turning the @Grok thing into a trend and encouraging their followers to do this. You probably have seen some meme edits, such as On God News asking Grok to take an image of Jack's films and make the feed his cold and not sizzling. Other people in replies added onto it, of course. Not forgetting the fact that Twitter can pay out an engagement, so if you have a device such as Grok where you can generate generate anything and try to rage bait users, you have a recipe for disaster, especially when the AI has shown it has little to no restrictions when it comes to what it will and won't generate, even taking out Elon, apparently. When I ask why are you still on Twitter, I ask that more of a metaphorical sense. I've seen a lot of doomers on the platform regarding AI, that there's no escape, but above all else, the overall sentiment is that you should just shut up and take it. That Twitter is seemingly the only place to get likes, views, or commissions, and that every other place is just complete shit as well, for one reason or another. I want to take a look at a few examples and try to look to a brighter side sort of deal. December 24th, 2025, Lauren Kangaroo posted about how you shouldn't post any RRL images for your own safety because anyone can generate it. Twitter user Theo would quote tweet the post, making fun of them that anyone can download an image and AI generate it. I'm going to pair that tweet with this one, which provides a flowchart. Twitter artist 9HF would tweet about the illusion of freedom. That artist can either post on Twitter or Blue Sky, and no matter what, AI would be made from it. Like I mentioned before, this is no different than saying someone photoshopping an image years ago. But because Twitter gives easier free access and even endorses this practice, it's not as simple as someone will do it, but more so that the platform in which you post on directly encourages the harassment, some even making money from it. On top of that, Elon doesn't even like when artists are credited, apparently. Twitter user Big Horse Blancs who share the same sentiments that no matter what website you use, the images will be scraped for AI, and that deleting Twitter doesn't do anything. That if someone wants to harass you, they'll follow you on Blue Sky too. This is sort of a doomerism, and well, if they're gonna do it anyway, I might as well stay on Twitter, sort of mentality that a lot of artists, especially big ones, would try to retort. I'd even seen a tweet from Bowman Mercure describing the difficulty in leaving. Quote, I swear we're in the same situation like a year ago, but everyone ended up using Twitter anyways. Like, unless if you're a huge artist that people care about your art that much they're willing to switch platforms for you, you're just cooked. In regards to just posting on Twitter versus Blue Sky, artist Choco Flaky would show that one drawing would garner 21,000 likes on Twitter, while on Blue Sky they only get 248 likes. Forgetting the fact that Blue Sky relies on tags for the algorithm, which they only had one, and the fact they posted the same image seemingly 21 days apart, and I guess something Pokemon related happening that day, maybe it contributed to a lot of likes. I'd seen a comment showing that they have over 11,000 followers on Twitter, and only 341 followers on Blue Sky, so not really telling the full story apparently. They're replied to themselves saying that they have more followers on Twitter, so it makes no sense for them to start from scratch when Twitter already works. But also they've only had this account for a year, so that's honestly pretty good growth for 1 year. They'd also admit that they don't interact on Blue Sky anyways, so this post is kind of just dumb and proved nothing, except that this person has more followers on Twitter. Flaky would argue with artist RJ Palmer regarding low engagement. RJ said that if their account isn't even a year old and they got 11k followers, then they should have little issue building a following in another place. That it doesn't have to be either, it can be both. Flaky would say that posting on 2 websites is time consuming and that they're not migrating, also saying that Twitter sucks too. One reply by user Cinema Roll talked about how they got instant gratification and doesn't want to work with attraction, that they just want immediate results. This sort of a trap where places like Twitter try to tie you down into and just try to make you stay forever. That's because if you have a lot of followers in one place, you might neglect posting elsewhere, or if there's slow growth elsewhere, then it reinforces why staying in one place is just easier for you. Hopefully this artist decides to bid up on Blue Sky and eventually elsewhere. Now, I'm going to go into 2 different topics, leaving Twitter and leaving Twitter. There's always sort of a notion that artists or anyone in general leaving Twitter is that they'll just be back in a few days or even sometimes the same day. But then there are people who actually leave Twitter and delete everything, essentially. I'd seen that Susie JPEG, a Pine Bear Twitter person of over 842,000 followers, left Twitter, with a post saying, Grok is making CP, I'm out of here. And seemingly the other tweets are deleted. Best of luck to them on other websites. Oh, they have like 600,000 followers on Instagram. I think they're fine. A thing to understand when it comes to posting on various sites is that there's a different algorithm in how one needs to post onto for growth. Such as a tweet mentioned before claiming about having less likes on one site that they want to focus on Twitter because they already have a fan base. Putting all of your eggs in one basket, if this is your job, is quite silly. If you're making commission money from this or even merch sales, spreading across various platforms is a must for your business because, well, this is a job and should be treated as such. A fun job, I suppose. And sometimes, much like learning a new technique in art, it evolves over time. We switched from Skype to Discord because it was a better service. We left Tumblr because they changed their policy on nudity. So this isn't to say we aren't using to moving away from platforms or websites in general when something is better or when a service becomes worse, or that there's an option to move. On top of that, for those who want to stay and avoid the Grok AI stuff, you could put your image as a GIF, but instead of putting a band-aid on a problem. Besides the fact making your tweet a GIF changes how it's presented to the algorithm, perhaps Grok would add GIF functionality later down the line. It's sort of being in a boiling pot of water and hoping the chef decides to turn off the heat, because, I don't know, maybe he's gonna be nice today. When a lot of people complain that the mutuals aren't posting Blue Sky, or it's dead, I fall back to the previous tweet I mentioned. You have to be one of the many people to actually post and interact on there. Sometimes you have to be the change you want to see in the world, then start posting on other websites. Because maybe mutual will discover you on the website and go like, oh shit, my friend's already posting on there. Maybe I can post there too. But if you want to push your Twitter followers to Blue Sky or other platforms, well, I do have some ideas that could work. Quitting Twitter cold turkey is a bit of a hard thing to do because for many people it is an addiction. On top of that, getting your followers to follow you in a new place when they're used to one is also a hard thing to do. So easing your followers over there is something that can work. Say posting an artwork on Blue Sky, then a week later posting it on Twitter, letting people know they could have seen it earlier over there. Next would be having artwork you just aren't posting on Twitter, or if you're not safe for work artist, posting a not safe for work variant on Blue Sky for your followers to see. If you want to move commissioners over on that platform, you can give users a 10% discounts for those who follow and commission you on Blue Sky. Now, I'm not a good example of an artist with a lot of followers on Blue Sky. However, just take a look at the screen for a second instead of eating or drawing, you can see that you can still build a big fan base on the website. Granted, these people are already popular from Twitter, and they found a way to migrate their followers over to Blue Sky, but proves the point that there are big name artists that use the platform consistently, and that you can get a big following on Blue Sky. I believe with the recent Grok addition of editing images, and even now allowing CP for some reason, now is the best time to move on from the platform and onto others, or at the very least lessen the use of Twitter outside of posting, interacting mutuals, or just art in general. I think it's completely reasonable for someone to say, I stopped posting art on Twitter because the AI posts CP. I see those who stick to Twitter as sort of an addiction that no matter how bad the platform gets, you'll see people justify only posting there and not even trying to go to other places. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, if you treat Twitter and posting on social media as more of a business, you do get a lot more out of it. I'd seen a tweet of a person blocking over 5,000 accounts on Twitter to better curate their feed. Much like that one post on the Doom accounts about, you control the buttons you press, you can make Twitter what you want out of it. If you see creators ask Grok to turn them around or whatever, you can unfollow, mute, or block them. If you don't like something a website does, you can be more proactive and curate your experience better, especially if your mutual is directly contributing to the bad behaviors and encouraging their followers to participate in it. To briefly go back to the tweet regarding someone harassing you on other social medias, you could still block people. In regards to scraping content, you can just use Glaze and other programs like it to better protect your works if you'd like. It sucks that this is the method in which we have to post, but this is sort of what we have to deal with going forward. To learn new ways to create and keep creating in spite of it, whether it be blocking 5,000 people on Twitter or moving to other platforms to start anew. So when I see a lot of Doomerism when it comes to posting online, I do think of why they have that mentality. Is it because they want to make money from rage bait? Is it because they already have a big following and don't want to lose it? Is it because they see no future in sight so they just keep on posting the way they know how? Regardless of the headspace, it doesn't mean you have to share that same mentality. You can do what you like for your mental and financial health as a creator on the internet. With all that, do I think Blue Sky is the end all be all of social media? No, of course not. No platform truly is. Over time, something will probably replace Blue Sky, or be better than it. Maybe it'll be a couple years, but I think choosing where to post without feeling pressure to stay on Twitter because it's a big platform should be your decision. Also keeping in mind that Twitter is quite literally almost 20 years old, so Blue Sky or any new social media may not have the same pull within a shorter amount of time is just understandable, though they still have a lot of users on the platform. You can choose to be a part of Twitter, or at the very least lessen your intake of the website, like only posting art and treating it like clocking into a job. Perhaps only an hour of Twitter liking, commenting, interacting with mutuals and artists and general posts. If you clog up your feed with memes, then your workspace becomes something to be distracted in. I stopped posting art on Twitter in 2024 and only post drawings on Blue Sky. It's been nice for me, and I like the atmosphere a lot better. If one of the worst criticisms you can give Blue Sky is that it's just boring, honestly I'd rather take that than the website where users regularly ask an AI to generate CP. Like if Twitter actually starts getting banned in countries, then all those artists lose 100% of their fan base unless they pivot towards other websites. Maybe I should start posting on Instagram and be on the lookout for the social media too. Anyway, I've been in my head quite a bit for this video, so let's check in on my audience, see what they think about this. I don't have a child yet, but I think I can't raise or protect a daughter from this AI edit, and that scares me. As someone who left Twitter 3 years ago now, mainly because of all the nutters that kept on appearing every time on my feed, saying nonsensical and hateful tweets, I find that to be a shameful act in a moral standpoint. I feel like Twitter is allowing all kinds of felons now, from right-wing and left-wing extremists to actual child predators. It's a really fucked up world at this point. Nutter is a British slang term for a crazy person, by the way. I don't use Twitter/X. Used it once and thought it was really boring. But I, as an artist, I wanted to add to the conversation, so here are my 2 cents. That is plain bad news, not only for artists, but in general. They're getting way too bold when it comes to how much they can get their hands crawling on to get anything they want from anyone just for profit and power. They're making it so those are incentivized to come directly at people to take what's ours and spit it out for their own selfish pleasure. And the worst outcome possible with people taking advantage of that to disrespect real people directly. I say that, if things like this come to be normalized around other places, we might be heading too deep to go back. The internet might be dying. I sure hope that won't be the case. If there's any takeaway you should get from this video, it's that you should only put in and take out what you want from social media. I mentioned before that I only post art on Blue Sky, but I still do post a link and such to my videos on Twitter. However, there's a recent thing where on the app you can't even get out of the Twitter app when viewing a video, so maybe down the line I'll just stop using Twitter altogether. I actually deleted Twitter off my phone and mainly use Blue Sky or Reddit if I feel like scrolling my phone, so better? I suppose. Though I had to re-download Twitter while I was at CES 2026. I'll have a vlog on Patreon later when I have time to edit that. But then I deleted Twitter from my phone when I just didn't need it anymore. When it comes to major changes on any platform, if it is something you dislike, you should stand your ground. To post, interact where you want and how you want to post. Instagram, Threads, Tumblr, even Blue Sky, there are a lot of social media sites out there to find something more tailored to you and how you want to create. On top of that, you can just post to multiple websites at once. The internet is a vast place and Twitter is but one of many websites you can post your art on. If you think it's a slog to post an image on one app and do the same on the other, then this video might fall on those deaf ears. If your work is online, you should not only prioritize getting money, but also checking in on your mental health. We had seen how artists and cosplayers are affected when someone asked Grok to take something they made and sully it with only a few sentences. While Photoshop and other AI bots have existed for years, it's never been easier to get harassed on Twitter. You vote with your posts and where you want to be. If you do decide to keep posting on Twitter, make it the space you want to post in, and maybe get ready to block like 5,000 people on the platform. Also, as a small little update, January 14, 2026, Twitter said he would post an update regarding Grok. Quote, remain committed to making X a safe platform for everyone and continue to have a zero tolerance for any forms of child sexual exploitation, non-consensual nudity, and unwanted sexual content. They further say they want to take action to remove high-priority volatile content, including CSAM, and report it to law enforcement when necessary. They said that image creation and the ability to edit images with Grok are now only available with paid users, but as you can see in this footage, I asked Grok to make Elon Musk fat, and Grok still did it, so maybe it's just you can't add Grok anymore, the free account. Also notice how it says, we now geo-block the ability of all users to generate images of real people in bikinis, underwear, and similar attire via the Grok account and in Grok and X in those jurisdictions where it's illegal. Last part implies there are places where it's still illegal to do so. Not to mention the previous tweet I showed with Elon happily replying regarding Grok putting people in bikinis, but then I guess the other shareholders are like, hey, you can't, don't do that, Elon. So essentially people still can and will deepfake your art and photos online, but not in bikinis, and only in areas where it's illegal. Also, Elon Musk still assures people that you still make AI porn of Grok, by the way. So I hope you like that update. Anyway, that's been this video for this week, and I hope you don't stop drawing. Have a good day. That was a good ending, right?